The truth is that when it comes to getting it all done, it's not about apps or planners or fancy time management systems. It's not about being more productive or motivated or having more time and energy than the rest of us. There is actually only one life-changing secret that I've discovered that helps me get more done 100% of the time, no matter what it is that I'm trying to do. And it's also one of the reasons why I'm going to be leaving YouTube, but we'll get to that in just a minute. First, I want to talk to you about Forrest Gump. I know that might have seemed a bit random, but stick with me for a second here. Forrest Gump famously said, "Life is like a box of chocolates." But I disagree. I think life is more like a pie. Not only are pies delicious, but they are also round. What else do we know that is round? Clocks. So just like pies, clocks are divided into little slices. You have seconds, minutes, hours, and all of those things add up to 24 hours in a day. No matter how you divide up your day, you only have those 24 hours to work with. Just like when you have a pie and you have slices that you want to enjoy for yourself and maybe have some to share with people that you love. You can slice the pieces as big or as small as you want to, but you only have that one pie to go around. No matter how you slice it, that pie is not going to get any bigger. Lately, I've been noticing that when people ask me how I am, I've been responding the same way over and over. I'm busy. I'm so busy. And then the other day, I felt really shocked because I looked at my calendar and I realized that we are already halfway through the year and I still haven't done a fraction of the things that I wanted to accomplish this year. So going back to the pie, I started thinking about how I'm trying to balance my life, and I realized that there's just not that much room for me to add in extra stuff that I want to do. So I sat down at my desk with a pen and a piece of paper, and I wrote out all of the things that I need to do in my life to be a functional and productive human being.
Adults are boring.
And here is how my pie is sliced right now. And I'm betting that it's not that different from how a lot of you have your pies sliced. So let's take a look. First of all, sleep. Sleep is kind of important. It's a necessity for all of us. Some people need more sleep, some people need less. So that's non-negotiable. Getting to bed early so that I'm rested and feel energetic enough to tackle what I need to do throughout the day. Then there's things like meal planning, actually going to the grocery store and buying the things that I need to buy, which, hello, grocery prices are crazy right now. Wow. And getting the ingredients for the things that I want to cook and then actually cooking the things that I want to cook, feeding my family, cleaning up after them, all of the dishes, that takes up a good chunk of my time. And then anyone who has kids knows that kids also take up a big slice of your day. Things like taking them to school and picking them up after school, doing homework with them and studying with them and teaching them and playing with them. And then any extracurricular activities or sports or things that you want to do outside of school and spending time together on the weekends. That's another big slice of my pie. And then there's also a slice for my husband and relationships that I want to have, being able to connect with friends or family members and have a chat or catch up over coffee or meet at the playground for a play date with our kids while we catch up. Then there's a slice for things like chores and errands, which are those nitpicky little things that don't seem that important, but all together add up to really have a well-functioning and happy home. Things like doing the laundry, folding the laundry, budgeting, paying the bills, taking care of scheduling appointments and other things like that. Just those tiny little things that take up so much time. For example, recently we were shocked to come home from the playground and find that the ceiling in our bathroom had started leaking because there is construction going on upstairs, and come to find out something hadn't been sealed well, and so it started leaking into the ceiling of our bathroom. And so we had to contact the people. We've been going back and forth. Initially they said they were going to take care of everything and we didn't have to worry about it, but then we've just had to chase them around a little bit more than we thought we were going to, but finally it looks like they're going to be solving that. So quick update, this is 2 days before this video is going live, and they got back to us and came to put this device in our bathroom that shoots hot air into the space above our ceiling to make sure everything is dry before they can patch it and repaint. So this is the current state of our bathroom. It's 90 degrees outside and yet we're pumping hot air into it. It stinks too. But that's something that my husband has been putting hours and hours and hours into figuring out, that was just something unexpected that popped up but required a lot of time and attention. Then there's things like health and wellness. So eating a balanced and healthy diet kind of goes along with meal planning as well, but not just that. It's also about getting exercise and taking care of your body, making sure that you give yourself time for rest and relaxation and take care of your mental health. All of these aspects of health and wellness also are an important slice of the pie. What are you doing?
Well, for you, I'm doing the stunts first, so you can check, see if that's your shot you want, the distance.
Okay.
So when you are here, you're fine.
Go closer to the bench. And then another big slice of the pie that most of us have is work. So for me, that's things like my blog and my YouTube channel. But for some of you, you might be working a full-time job, you might be working a part-time job. There's things like commute times, work hours. And then if you're doing something like, for example, teaching, and you have to grade student paperwork, you have to take the paperwork home sometimes after school and on the weekends to be able to get it all finished. And then the final slice of the pie that I was thinking about was fun time. So the time that's not designated to any of these other things, but it's just about having fun together. That could be things like planning a vacation or taking trips together, which honestly we haven't done in a long, long time, and we're looking forward to doing this summer. And then other things like maybe you have hobbies that you want to do, books you want to read. That's the final slice of the pie that honestly I haven't been giving as much attention to lately. So for a while now, I've been like adding stuff into the pie without taking anything out. So I mentioned recently in my minimalist habits video that my kids have started taking martial arts classes, and now we're also doing swim lessons to gear up for the summer. And just going outside to play more, which frankly feels so good after a long winter and coming out of so many lockdowns over the past 2 years. And because my schedule is so full, I've been saying no to a lot of things that honestly I would really enjoy doing. But I think I'm at the point where I need to swap out some of the things that I'm saying no to and carve out more space for fun and new experiences and goals that I have in my life. And so when I was looking at the things that I could take off my plate to free up more time, the obvious choice was YouTube. So that brings us to the life-changing secret hack that I have for getting it all done, and that is to do less. I will be the first to admit that I am not a very good multitasker, and I'd much rather stay focused on a small number of tasks that matter to me and that I can do well. And for a while now, YouTube has been one of those hugely important things because I have such a passion for sharing the joys of decluttering and minimalism, and because I love it so much, that's what made it even harder for me to admit that I needed to step back and take a break. But honestly, YouTube can suck up so much of my free time, and I find it hard to keep up with all of the ideas and the content that I want to create because I get caught up in this idea that I want everything to be done well and done perfect and done beautifully. And so I will put things off until I have the time to videotape them to my standards. So it's like I'm always waiting for that perfect time, which in reality, as I've told you before, there is no such thing as the perfect time to do something. So take this for example. This is my YouTube 100,000 subscribers plaque, and I got this delivered to me on April 20th, which was 2 months ago, and yet I still have not opened it. I just kept telling myself that it was a special award, and a special award deserves a special video, right? And I also wanted to tell the story about how the FedEx guy rang our doorbell at 7 a.m. to deliver it, which I was totally unprepared for, and how I had to answer the door in rag rollers in my fuzzy bathrobe. So today I'm going to let go of my dream to have a perfectly crafted video, and I'm just going to open it up here and put it on my vision board in its place of honor.
Close your eyes. Get some rest. I'm by your side. Lay your head on my chest.
And you might be wondering, what does all of this have to do with me? Sure, maybe you aren't a YouTuber, but I'm willing to bet that if you're watching this video, that you have some big important things that you're trying to accomplish in your life. For some of you, you might be trying to declutter your home. For others, maybe you're trying to pay off debt and you're trying to learn how to budget, cut costs, and save more money. And I think that a lot of us can probably relate to this now with prices and inflation skyrocketing all around the world. And I have been through all of the things that I mentioned and that a lot of you are probably in the thick of right now. Like when I was trying to pay off $25,000 worth of student loan debt, I stopped going out and put myself on spending freezes. And it meant that I was putting more time towards things like meal planning, cutting grocery costs, and cooking budget-friendly meals, and finding small ways to make extra money. And when I was extreme decluttering our entire home, that meant that I had to let go of a lot of other things in my life. I didn't have time to meet up with friends as often, and my home was a lot messier. It meant that the dishes were less likely to be done at the end of the day, and the vacuuming probably happened a lot less. But for me, it was important to remember the big picture goals that I was working on, and by doing less now, I was creating more time and space in the future for us to have the life that we wanted. So I would encourage you to look at the things that you're complaining about. A lot of times there is some kind of lesson there to help you figure out where you need to be setting better boundaries in your life. For me, it was saying, I'm too busy to do this or that. So after all of that, what does that mean for us in this YouTube channel? I think that the summer is a great time for us to just step back, log off social media, get out there and live our lives. And I have some projects that I want to work on. I'm gonna keep them secret right now, but if you look back to my vision board video a while back, you might find a few hints as to some of the things that I'm dreaming about doing. So I will be logging off all social media channels for at least 30 days, probably more, I'm still not quite sure yet. And then after that 30-day period, I'm still going to be staying off of YouTube for a period of probably several months. There is a possibility that I might go back to Instagram first because it's just easier, a place where I like to share quick stories and updates as to our life. So if you aren't already following me there, you can find me at A to Zen Life. And I'll also make sure to link a newsletter sign up down in the comments and the description box below so you can sign up for that to stay updated, because I will still be publishing blog posts that I'm trying to catch up on. I was actually a blogger before I became a YouTuber, and for me, it's a lot easier to get blog posts done. I can get 5 blog posts written in the time it takes me to make one YouTube video. So there is a backlog of things that I've been meaning to write, but just haven't had the time.
I almost forgot to mention this hack, but if you aren't on Instagram or elsewhere, the only way to know when I'm back on YouTube is to hit the subscribe button and then ring the little bell to turn on all notifications. That is the only way that YouTube will make sure to alert you when I share new videos. So if you aren't on those other platforms and don't want to sign up for my newsletter, you can just do that, and that's one way to catch me when I come back.
And I just want to reassure you that this is not goodbye. This is just me and my family stepping back to take a break, catch our breath after a very long time and some very stressful events that have been going on in our life, and just take a breather and enjoy the summer. And feel free to join us if you feel like taking a break sounds good to you as well. If you've made it this far, I would love it if you would like this video and drop me a comment below and tell me, how are you slicing your pie, and is there anything that you would like to be doing less of and anything you would like to be doing more of? It feels really weird to sign off and not say I'll see you next week. So I guess what I'll say instead is I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.